When it comes to dating, connection and chemistry are incredibly important for you to have an interest in that person. But the issue here is that some of us put way too much emphasis and value on this connection and chemistry instead of looking at some much more important factors that need to be taken into account. And so, in order for you to have a long, fulfilling, happy relationship in the long term, then there's other things that you should consider when you start dating someone, and not just be blown away and swept off your feet by the connection and chemistry and excitement of what that relationship brings to you. If you haven't been to my page, welcome. I'm Hamasa. I look at mental and emotional well-being, personal development, and just day-to-day issues. If you haven't subscribed to my page, please do so that you're up to date with all my content. So there are factors that we need to take into account when we start dating someone or we really like them. It's great that we have a connection with them. It's great that the chemistry is off the hook. But then, do they tick certain boxes? And to be honest, I don't really want to phrase it that way because it's not about ticking boxes. But do they fulfill you and bring the best out in you? Or it's just the chemistry and connection, and then there's nothing more to back it? The factors that actually make a difference in the longevity and the quality of your relationship. And the first thing you need to look out for when things are getting a little bit serious and you're thinking of a potential relationship with this person is you should both want the same things. Is the outcome of the relationship the same for you as it is for your partner? Do you both want marriage, a family, kids, want to be settled? Or do you both want to not have kids and marriage isn't that important to you? You just want to be in a relationship and see where it goes. Whatever that is to you, it needs to be compatible with what your partner wants. There's really no point you investing time, effort, energy and make yourself fall deeper for this person when you know that they're not going to give you what you want at the end of the day, or you're not going to give them what they want at the end of the day, and you don't want to be the one hurting them either. The next thing would be to see if this person's actually emotionally available, because it's no good them wanting a long-term relationship for the wrong reasons. And by that I mean they're lonely, they can't be by themselves, so they're just like filling the gap, they're jumping from relationship to relationship, they have unresolved like a lot of trauma, which then reflects in how they deal with arguments and their level of communication. You cannot be in a relationship long term with someone that you cannot communicate with. So the emotional availability then also affects a lot of other things that are important in a relationship. So they need to be ready and willing to understand you, compromise with you, listen to you, and also communicate and speak their emotions and how they feel. If they're upset, can they express that? Or are they just going to shut you out? Or they're going to pick a big fight instead of being able to tell you how they feel. So that's the second thing that you need to really look out for. And the emotional intelligence, of course, covers whether this person is responsive and attentive to your emotional needs and whether they understand you in that area. And if they don't, are they compassionate enough towards you to let you be and just be supportive? All these things kind of tie down to them being available and willing to learn. Not everybody's necessarily there, but it's having the maturity to understand that I'm not an expert in these areas, but I'm happy to learn it for you because it matters to you. The next thing is to see whether you guys have the same core values and morals, because that will affect your future decision making, where you guys live, the family relationships, kids and things like that. So you need to see eye to eye when it comes to your core values and morals, of course, for it to be a long-lasting relationship. Another interesting factor to consider is whether this person brings out the best in you or makes you feel uneasy and on edge. Because your life partner is usually a reflection of your primary caregivers when you were younger. And obviously you had the good and the bad. So is this person triggering some of the things that you didn't like when you were growing up? And it's your triggers and your traumas that this person's really bringing up to the surface. But not in a good, challenging way for you to face it and heal it and deal with it. More like, oh my God, I know how this goes. Like, he gets very aggressive, for example, and my dad used to get aggressive. So this is bringing me those memories back. You need to really pay attention to that and see if you are your best self around them. Or are you always miserable and on edge and anxious and upset and crying? Because it's no good having this amazing chemistry, amazing connection when you guys are together. But the minute you're away from them, you feel just devastated, broken because of how they speak to you, how they are towards you, just how they make you feel overall. Because usually when you date someone that's quite narcissistic or emotionally abusive, you kind of pick up on the vibes and on the uneasiness and being on edge way before you can even make sense of what's going on in the relationship. So pay attention to those feelings. Are they the exciting butterfly kind of feelings that you're looking forward to, or are they the ones that make you, give you that sick gut feeling and you're just like, why do I feel like this? He's gonna get mad at me, or she's gonna get annoyed if I do this. So you're constantly second guessing yourself and you're kind of breaking your stride because you don't know the repercussions of what will happen. So very, very important factor to consider. And the other thing is to see whether this excitement is consistent. So it's no good someone being really great and fun and exciting, but very, very inconsistent and up and down. One minute they're giving you their all, and the next minute they pull back and you're left confused and you don't know if you should text or you shouldn't. That, again, is another factor that you really need to see. Consistency plays a very, very key role in any relationship, and especially the one that you want to build with. So if you've paid attention to all these things, you really need to ask yourself, are there red flags in this that you're kind of overlooking and excusing because you don't want to face what's going on because the chemistry and connection is so great? And if that's what you're doing, then you really need to take a step back and consider and weigh your options and see what's the best way to go forward. Because it's all well and great when you're having fun with someone, and if you're fun and you're having a good time, it's very normal for that person to be very nice to you because you're both enjoying each other's company and having fun. The big test of any relationship, friendships, partners, family, is to see how they treat you or how they behave and how they handle the situation when things are not good. When you guys are arguing, can they handle you? Can they respect you? Can they be there for you? Compromise, meet you halfway, resolve things and get over it. That's where the real test lies. So if you see these red flags and you kind of ignore them, they will all come to the surface the minute you guys have an argument. And the thing is, you've already known all along, but you kind of just chose to overlook it. So don't put yourself in that position when it's too late. Having said that, chemistry and connection is still very, very important because that's what differs our friends from our partners. But it's not the only thing, and it's one of the least important things when it comes to building a long-term relationship. You need to take everything into account and see the whole big picture, not just the bits that are great for you and the rest are kind of like, oh, I don't want to deal with that because I'm having too much fun. That's just not the way to go about things, because you will pay the price of that in the end, either way. So if you could save yourself some heartache and headache, you should. And you should pay attention to these things. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you have, please do subscribe to my page, like and comment on this video. And I will see you guys here again next week. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.